What's up, you guys, and welcome back again to my channel. Today, we are taking my automatic kelp farm and we are going to turn it into a dried kelp farm. Guys, this is an automatic dried kelp farm, which means that you can have an endless supply of food and it generates automatically for you, and you don't have to lift a finger. Guys, stay tuned. If you like the video, head down to the bottom, click that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you have something to say, leave it in the comments. And guys, always, please share my channel. It really helps my channel grow. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this short intro. All right, you guys, this is part of a three episode. It's probably going to turn into 4 episode series where we are making different farms out of kelp. We started off with a simple kelp farm. You can click it up in the top right corner. Then we went from there and we went to an automatic kelp farm, and we turned the same farm into an automatic kelp harvesting farm that harvests itself on its own. Again, you can click that link up in the top corner. And then now we are taking our automatic kelp farm and we turned it into a dried kelp farm. Okay. And so I'll walk through the whole farm just so you guys can see how it works. Okay. But I'll walk through the whole farm and you guys can see and try to build it for yourself. But if you look down here, you can see you'll see that it went from 20 to 21, and it is cooking the kelp, dropping it into there on its own, and it's feeding fuel into the kelp farm. Okay. So if ever I notice I run out of fuel, I can fill this thing up. Okay. And then it'll cook and make all the kelp on its own, and I don't have to do a thing. Notice I have kelp going into it right now, and it's cooking. All right, so let me show you how this thing works, starting from the beginning, growing the kelp. Now I have this automatic kelp harvester, okay? And if you want to know how kelp grows, just watch that first simple kelp farm, and it'll show you exactly how to plant it and where to plant it and what you can plant it on. If you want to know how to make the exact specifics to making the automatic kelp harvester, you can look at that second video. Okay, but I have these down here, and what happens is these pistons will harvest. Will the pistons will go out and harvest it, not at the bottom block, but at the second block up. And then it knows when to harvest it because I have those pistons down on the bottom tied to these observers. So when all this kelp, for example, this kelp grows up one more block and is grown in front of the observer, then the observer sends a signal down to all these pistons, and it sends it down to fire, and it cuts down all these plants. And because this is water, the kelp floats to the top, and then the top layer has a waterfall system or a flow system that runs over here into a hopper. Okay, so it sends all the kelp over here into a hopper. Now from that hopper, it leads down into a smoker. And I used a smoker instead of a furnace because it cooks a little bit faster. Now the kelp has to go straight into the top. So it has to go into the top of the smoker. The smoker won't work until it has fuel to burn. Okay, so notice you have to have the kelp and you have to have some sort of fuel. This one I'm using spruce logs. Okay, so the spruce logs has its own filter into the side. And what happens is you fill your shell stuff right here with whatever you want to use. You can use saplings, you can use sticks, you can use logs, you can use planks. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you want to use as your fuel, you put it in there. And then from there, you uh, have a hopper underneath the chest. Has to be under it. Yes, it has to be under it so that it pulls the items from the chest and then it leads into the side of the smoker. Now, this can be hooked to any one of the sides of the smoker, but it has to be hooked to the side. It cannot be hooked into the top, cannot be hooked into the bottom. You have to have the hopper sideways into the smoker. Now, underneath the smoker, we have another hopper. So that hopper, let's see if I can move this dirt out of the way so you guys can see what's happening with that hopper down here. This hopper, I can't get a good view. So there we go. That's a little better. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Here, let me give myself a little viewing area for you guys. I'll fix this when I'm done. But there we go. That should work. That hopper that I was just talking about going from the bottom of the smoker is pointed into this chest, this double chest, just so you guys can see. And that pulls the dried kelp. Once it's finished cooking, you just saw one fly through. Watch. See, it flies through and the hopper pulls it and it goes straight into this bottom chest. And you'll see that number grow nice and at a good rate, actually. And then you get all the kelp you need. And I actually wanted to show you guys. Oops, I didn't mean to drop that in there. I wanted to put it there. That, my character is hungry. So now we're going to eat. And we're going to fill up on all the dried kelp that we want. And here you have an endless food supply that consistently restocks itself. And you don't have to worry about it. And you just leave it sit and it'll fill up and you can go do what you want, build a house nearby, stay in the area so that it continues to run and it'll continue. Now, for those of you that didn't get to go back and see how the automatic kelp farm works, all the observers are tied together and then you have a line of red dust going down to the bottom where they connect to the pistons, and these are the pistons that fire to harvest. Okay, and if you notice that you're losing power because you went too far down, then you're going to need to set up a repeater. But I have the perfect distance here so that the power from each one of these observers is just enough to reach every single one of the pistons down in the bottom. Okay, and so that's how that works. Pretty simple, actually. Very nice. What do you guys think? Do you like this project? Do you not like this project? Would you build it yourself? If you would, head down to the bottom. Let me know in the comments how you would do it. How I might have done something wrong that could have been done easier. If you want me to do something else, let me know in the comments. Guys, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you know anybody else that likes this kind of thing, please share my channel with them. It really helps my channel grow. And guys, stay tuned for the next episode, because on the next one, I'm going to take this whole setup and we are going to change it. Sorry about that. We are going to change it into a dried kelp block farm. So it's going to take all the kelp, because we're going to have excess amounts of kelp, and it's going to turn those kelp into blocks for us so that we have more space and we don't have to worry about storage, and we can just have tons and tons of kelp block. Guys, that'll be on the next episode. Stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications so you get notified when these videos get posted. And guys, thanks for watching. We will see you next time. Have a good one.